Donald Trump rots away as the world burns. Trump having a psychotic meltdown all throughout the day yesterday and into the evening, gave a deranged interview with state regime media and Sean Hannity. But throughout most of the night, Donald Trump was posting fake graphs and fake charts while we saw the world burning, while the world is on fire as a result of Donald Trump's weakness. Here were some of the posts that he made. He says that based on Donald Trump taking office, all new jobs have gone to native-born workers. And he puts up this fake chart that claims that there are 0% jobs going to foreign workers. Yeah, Donald, I'm sure that chart is correct. Then Donald Trump posts this bizarre analysis by his propaganda arm, the Council of Economic Advisors, just publishing a bunch of BS. They go, since Donald Trump won, states won by Donald Trump have 11 times more jobs than left-wing red tape-ridden states. The golden age in motion. So I'm just trying to understand this. I mean, notwithstanding the fact that Donald Trump is literally just putting phony numbers and fraudulent numbers like he's done his entire life in this slide right here. So you would be rooting against states like California, New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, which clearly employ more people than anywhere else. You will be rooting against them right now, and you're cheering for what? You want to claim that the jobs in Mississippi and the jobs in where? Kansas or Kentucky or Indiana are more than the blue states? Yeah, I'm in Arkansas. That's what you want us to believe? Sure, Donald, sure. Then Donald Trump posts incompetent California leaders headed by Governor Gavin Newsom and a traveling mayor who likes Africa better than the USA. That's how Donald Trump's referring to the African-American mayor, Mayor Bass of Los Angeles, saying that she likes Africa more than the USA. I mean, can you get any more revolting and racist than Donald Trump and this entire despicable regime? I'm not even going to read the rest of it. But let's just talk about what's going on as Donald Trump is doing that. What's going on in the rest of the world right now? Well, there are protests taking place throughout Iran right now. There are potentially as many as 1 million people protesting, huge protests taking place, hundreds of thousands of protests taking place. But one of the things that we're seeing take place as well, and witnesses are reporting back some of this information. There are massacres taking place by the Iranian regime right now. One witness is telling the Fardis press, across from the police station 11 in Fardis, they brought a Toyota with a machine gun mounted on it. They opened fire on everyone with heavy weapons. Don't doubt it, over 50 people killed and massacred in Iran. Now, last week, Donald Trump said, if Iran shoots, he said shots, if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, exclamation point, Donald Trump. Okay, well, Iran seems to have engaged in a massacre of the protesters there. So now are what? You are committing American troops? Are you committing American boots on the ground? Is this, you're just going to do wars everywhere right now? More on Venezuela in a moment, more on Trump threatening Mexico in a moment, more on Donald Trump threatening Greenland in a moment. But is that your plan? Well, Donald Trump goes on state regime media, he goes on Fox, and he tells Hannity that what's really happening in the deaths that you're seeing in Iran are actually being caused by stampedes. This is Donald Trump's analysis. He goes, they're the stampedes that are killing people. Here, play this clip.
There's been people killed, but it's more from death by, it's literally stomping. It's people running in a certain direction. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens over there. They know, though, that it's a stampede is, I guess, the best word. They have like a stampede. You talk about stampede for cattle. But the people are stampeding, and you're losing a lot of people with the stampedes. There's so many There's so many people protesting. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening right now.
Now, one of the things that Donald Trump also said, although we'll have to, who knows what he really means here, is he's saying that he doesn't support the Shah's family, or he doesn't think that they should be the leaders of Iran. And so he doesn't seem to have a plan of, well, what comes next there. But isn't that Donald Trump's entire MO, having no plan and just winging it? Isn't that why he's gone bankrupt over and over again? Here's one of the most read articles from the Financial Times. They talk about how this guy, Diosdado Caballo, who's the interior minister of Venezuela, he was really Maduro's henchman. He runs the colectivos and the paramilitary groups there. You see him right here. How he and Delcy Rodriguez, in many ways, Diosdado's more dangerous than Delcy. But Delcy Rodriguez, who's now running Venezuela, she was sworn in earlier this week and she was given hugs and kisses by the ambassadors from Iran, Russia, China, who were all there, and they believe they still have influence. If you look at what they're posting in Russia, they're talking about how Sergei Lavrov and all the top Russian people are in regular communication with Delcy Rodriguez, who Donald Trump has hoisted up and claims that she's his puppet, while Russia's claiming that they have the good relationship with her. And, Delcy's out there coming up with saying statements like, Trump's lies about drug trafficking, democracy, human rights. All the Trump regime wants is our oil. All they want is our oil. Now, look, Delcy is likely virtue signaling to her local audience to seem tough. And there's probably side deals with the Trump regime and the CIA, but there's probably side deals with Russia and China's services and Iran as well taking place right now. And so now Donald Trump says he's going to allow Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader, to come to Mar-a-Lago, but she has to give him the Nobel Peace Prize. That's what Donald Trump told Hannity on state regime media, that he'll have Maria Corina Machado visit him, but it would be an honor if she handed him the Nobel Peace Prize this weekend at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, as Harry Sisson says, this is beyond humiliating for the United States. Trump won't support Machado in Venezuela unless she gives him a Nobel Peace Prize that she won, and he's already undermined her. And he's already put in place Delcy, and he's put in place Diosdado and the whole Maduro regime right there. I mean, it's ridiculous. When you go back, look at some of these photos of Delcy and Lavrov and all these people. But here's what Donald Trump says, how it would be an honor for him to be given the Nobel Peace Prize. Play this clip.
Do you have any plans to meet with her? And would you accept the Nobel Prize she wants to hand to you?
Well, I understand she's coming in next week sometime. And I look forward to saying hello to her, and I've heard that she wants to do that. That would be a great honor. Mm-hmm. I did put out 8 wars, 8 and a quarter, because, Thailand and Cambodia started going at it again. So
I'll put the list up.
I give a quarter, so it's you put the list out. It's a hell of a list. But I've stopped 8 wars, and I think it's been a major embarrassment to Norway. Now I don't know what Norway has to do with it, but that's where the committee is located. A lot of Norwegian people. And it's been a very big embarrassment to the country of Norway, whether they have anything to do with it or not. I think they do. They say they don't. But, when you put out 8 wars, in theory, you should get 1 for each war, okay? Because some of these wars were going on for 30 years.
Then Donald Trump seems unconcerned about elections in Venezuela. Play this clip.
They couldn't have an election. They wouldn't even know how to have an election right now. The country's become third world, and they wouldn't know how to have an election right now. We're going to rebuild the oil and the oil infrastructure. We'll be in charge of it. It's going to do great. It'll make a lot of money. And we're going to take it from there, but we're going to rebuild the country. And ultimately, you're going to have elections.
When you talk about increasing defense spending,
And then Donald Trump threatens war with Mexico and says, yeah, the cartels are running Mexico, so we may need to start hitting the land in Mexico. He says we need to start hitting the land in Mexico. Here, play this clip right here.
And we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country. But the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. The drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You know, you lose a child or a parent. I mean, parents are dying too with drugs.
Oh, and then, by the way, Donald Trump says that Jewish people shouldn't have voted for Obama, and Jewish people shouldn't have voted for Biden. Okay, Donald, here, play this clip.
I don't know how Jewish people can vote for Biden and Obama. They were absolutely on the side of Iran. They were against
Or
Jewish
Mamdani,
people. Well, we're going to find out.
your favorite
about it.
mayor.
Well, I have a very nice relationship, but I thought it would take at least maybe a month or 2 months before he went after me. He hit me on the attack on Venezuela, which is pretty unusual because not too many people have hit us. That was a perfect attack.
All right, so you have Iran, you have Venezuela, you have Donald Trump threatening war against Mexico. In that same interview with Hannity on State Regime, Donald Trump's also threatening war with Cuba as well. And then you have the protests in Minneapolis and elsewhere after Trump's Gestapo, Trump's collectivos, Trump's paramilitary, the ICE, the SS, Border Patrol, were in there invading American cities. And of course, you know by now, the ICE agents murdered in cold blood Renee Nicole Good, mother of 3, was picking up her child. ICE murdered her in cold blood. We also learned that ICE also killed 2 people in Portland. Now ICE claims that they are terrorists or migrant terrorists, but as the mayor of Portland and the governor of Oregon are saying, we used to be able to trust what the government said, not the Trump regime, but we literally can't trust anything this regime says at this point. So you have Minneapolis protests taking place, massive protests there. You got another 2 people being killed by ICE. And I think we're going to keep learning about more and more. And we've already talked about what's close to 50, 60 people have died in ICE custody at detention centers already. So that's what's going on in Minneapolis. Then you have in Lviv, Western Ukraine, close to the border, where there's an Article 5 NATO obligation as well. You have Russia striking Lviv with ballistic missiles, Russia striking Kyiv. You see the Shahed drones from Iran. Like, do we see what's happening in the world right now? That Iran, Russia, China, North Korea. Then you have the U.S. under the Trump regime saying it's the main predator of the Western Hemisphere. Where do you think Russia is getting these missiles from, these Shaheds from? They're getting the Shaheds. They're getting them from Iran. And while all of this is taking place, you have Donald Trump's focus yesterday as well. In addition to his fake graphs and his fake charts, now they're talking about renovating the West Wing of the White House, and that there may need to be a second story added to the West Wing. Trump's new architect was giving a presentation yesterday and said we need symmetry because of the 89,000 square foot ballroom in the East Wing that Donald Trump demolished. And don't forget, they're building a secret bunker under there as well. Not all that secret, we reported on the MeidasTouch network, but they're claiming for national security reasons, the courts can't intervene there. But now they want to screw with the West Wing and make the White House is going to look absolutely horrific between the ballroom, the West Wing. What the hell are we even doing here, folks? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you had the Greenland ambassador along with the Denmark ambassador meet with United States senators in order to, at least on a bipartisan basis, most of the senators affirmed their support of the sovereignty of Denmark and Greenland. So you had the ambassadors there. I'm going to do another video in a little bit, so check back, about Republicans voting against Donald Trump in key areas yesterday. Affordable Care Act subsidy extension in the House. 17 Republicans joined with Democrats. A war powers resolution in the Senate. 52-47 in favor of restricting Trump's ability to invade Venezuela further. And Trump will obviously veto that. But also the Senate agreed by unanimous consent to hang a January 6th plaque, likely on the 3rd floor area there. So you have these areas of revolting or dissenting, as I say in the video, against a revolting individual in Donald Trump. So that's what's going on right now. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. But, you know, Trump basically said, Iran, if you did what you did, we're going to invade you. So let's stay tuned there. You see that things are escalating in Ukraine, and obviously the Russia is escalating, saying, okay, you escalate Venezuela and invade, we escalate here. There's always consequences to Trump's reckless flexing of his view of hegemonic, imperialistic adventurism power in the Western Hemisphere, because Trump's been a predator his whole life. That's predator, right? I mean, he's a sexual predator. Separately, he's a convicted felon for financial stuff, right? He was civilly liable for sexual abuse. He's bankrupted things over and over again. I go back to what Congressman Swalwell said. If Donald Trump can't run a casino, he ran that into a ground. You're going to run the Western Hemisphere? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.